This story has come to an end. What started so beautiful and so exciting ends in an atmosphere of mutual hatred. PSG hates Messi and Messi hates PSG. The Paris Saint-Germain went against Leo and made him one of the scapegoats for the team's failures. The Argentine is furious and wants to leave Paris as soon as possible. In some sense, this is war. Nasser Al-Khelaifi and the PSG management were offended by Messi's unwillingness to sign a new contract. Until January, everything was moving in a positive direction. The parties agreed on all the terms, and it seemed that Leo's signature was just a matter of days or weeks. But every day the world champion was only moving away from Saint-Germain. What was the main reason we convinced the GOAT? Firstly, it was the club's toxicity. It's no secret that PSG lacks harmony in everything, starting with the relationship between fans and the club and ending with lots of conflicts within the team itself. Secondly, the project itself did not turn out to be as strong as the Qatari sheiks had promised to Leo. The team was eliminated from the Champions League twice in a row in the round of 16. Being beaten by the two top clubs, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, doesn't save the situation. And thirdly, life in Paris was not comfortable enough for the Messi family. When the team gets a weekend off, Lionel immediately packs his bags and returns to Barcelona. It's no secret that this is what irritates the PSG management a lot. Until April, Messi was still hesitant about PSG's offer, but after the Parisian ultras booed him twice, Leo realized Paris will never be his home. And it was then that the seven-time Ballon d'Or winner first informed the Paris Saint-Germain management that he was not gonna sign a new contract and would leave the club in the summer. Paris took this decision quite aggressively and began working on Messi's departure to make it as easy as possible for the fans. How can this be done? It's not difficult at all. To do this, you need to make media leaks that discredit the star forward in the fans and the football community's eyes. Take for example these news from Le Parisien. Leo Messi's camp are asking for a salary increase to stay at PSG. His current deal is 37 million euros a year, but his father feels Messi's next contract should take into account his World Cup win. A local Parisian newspaper accuses Messi of breaking off agreements with PSG because of his financial gluttony. Thus, the Parisian football community is turned against the world champion. How does this work? Fans immediately recall Leo's failure to bring the Champions League trophy to the Parc des Princes, which is why the Argentine was invited to PSG. And yet, he is still asking for a raise on top of his already hefty salary. And this is despite the fact that the club will have problems with the FFP from next season. Wouldn't this Leo Messi guy go somewhere else? We easily won Liga 1 without him. Here's some kind of algorithm for such stuff. And indeed, it works. After that, Leo is turned into a person who doesn't respect the club. The story of Messi's 2-week suspension smacks of a planned action against the Argentine. Yes, Lionel did miss training on Monday because on that day he was in Saudi Arabia as the country's tourist ambassador, fulfilling his duties. This visit had been planned for months and was agreed with PSG. But due to the sensational defeat to Lorient, the management changed its mind about giving the team 2 days off and called a training session while Messi was already on board. Of course, Leo could not immediately turn the plane around and return to Paris. Leo Messi has a reputation as an exemplary professional and has never missed a training session without a reason. So here's a logical question for you. How do you believe in this story? PSG's version, according to which Messi did not agree his absence, or Leo's version, as stated above? Write in the comments. In Messi, Paris Saint-Germain has now created an enemy for the fans. The enemy who doesn't care about training and his duties. He will not be allowed to enter the club's base for 2 weeks and will not receive a salary for this period. In this way, Nasser Al-Khelaifi shows to the Parisian ultras that the club is changing and no longer indulges stars who have never won the Champions League at the Parc des Princes. Paris Saint-Germain seems to be changing and fulfilling the fans' dream of a team around Mbappe. not a team of stars with Mbappe in the squad. Eventually, Nasser Al-Khelaifi and his team brought the club's ultras to the point where they openly abuse Messi and go home to Neymar. On May the 3rd, the most determined and aggressive PSG fans gathered outside the club's office and chanted, "Lionel Messi is a son of a bitch." And then, the crowd went to Neymar's house, calling on the Brazilian to leave the club after Messi. The real madness is happening at PSG, and it's the club itself that is to blame, not just the players, who, although they are top stars, cannot win every match. Especially in the Champions League, where a far more intense competition is. Just look at how strong Real Madrid and Manchester City are. PSG, with their manager Christophe Galtier, have not even secured victory in Ligue 1 yet. Perhaps the reason for their failures is ultimately in the team's management and planning. The hate towards Messi from the local media is insane. What do you think, for example, of this quote from former PSG and French national team player Jérôme Rotten? Leo Messi just came to PSG to prepare for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He won it, and now he's ready to leave. His move is just a financial issue. It was the only club that could give him what he wanted. The only one. Now he's trying to scam the Qataris for money. But no, that's it. Ciao. Au revoir. Goodbye. And these are also Rotten's words. PSG believes that Messi doesn't put enough effort into matches for the club, and that he really used the club to train less and be at his best during the 2022 World Cup. Add to this the fact that Leo eventually won the cup and the fact that the club never organized the celebration of Messi's victory at the Parc des Princes. Relations began to break up in December last year. History is repeating itself. Maradona and Argentina eliminated Italy at the 1990 World Cup, and they turned against him at club level. In 2022, Messi and Argentina eliminated France, and PSG have now turned against Messi at a club level. This is a rather interesting thought, isn't it? There is something to it. Nevertheless, Messi is getting a lot of support in social media, and we'll highlight a few typical tweets for you. Messi really went to PSG, prepared, and trained for the World Cup. He ended up winning it. Now he's done with them as he feels there is no project there and wants to come back home to sign for a big club. Barca blogger Rashad Rahman trolls PSG star. Messi saga ongoing. Meanwhile, Messi and his kids at home. Messi doesn't really rate PSG. This football fan notes. And this tweet is a real masterpiece. Leo Messi leaves Barca to balance the books. Pays Tenga half a fortune to the Moor. Convinces Mbappe not to sign for Madrid. Uses the Qatari club as a training ground to lift the World Cup from the French. Go home quietly. Conductor of the orchestra. Despite the public conflict, PSG wants to give a good farewell to Messi, but Leo may not play for the Persians anymore. PSG want Messi to play the last 3 matches against Auxerre, Strasbourg, and Clermont. But it's not sure if that idea is in Messi's mind, as he is very angry, Le Parisien reports. For now, Messi is only thinking about returning to Barca. The only club Leo Messi wants to play for is Barcelona. Messi and his family are waiting for Barca in La Liga to resolve the issues regarding the finances. Argentine journalist Gaston Adul, who is very close to Leo Messi's camp, says. And we would like to end this video with the words of the great Ronaldinho. I will never understand the whistles and insults against Leo Messi. If you whistle at the best player in the world, who will you applaud? I don't understand it. I thought people had more football traditions and respect. Ronaldinho said. Friends, please press the like button if you agree with the wizard. It was Inside Football. We watch football from a different angle. Subscribe, stay with us, and love the #1 game. See you in a bit.